Yo, my name is Phoenix Rising. I'm 23, and this is my second day being homeless in a tent.
I did a video not too long ago about homelessness in Canada and the levels of homelessness that a lot of young people and older people are experiencing in this country. And there's some good and positive news, like people helping out homeless people, which is being really amazing for a lot of individuals and communities. But there's also a lot of sad stories. And I do have a bit of both here today. So just a warning, again, this is not going to be an easy video to watch. But with that being said, let's get to some of these videos. First, with a more of a positive video.
Check this out, house 1, house 2, house 3. 3 guys warm tonight.
See, that's awesome. Like when you see people coming together and like building little houses and something to keep homeless people from freezing to death in the harsh winters of Canada, it really is a positive. But you know, there's a lot of layers of that get you to the point of where you're going to be homeless as well. And some of it's also mental health, some of it is just family-related abuse, some of it is financial situations, but regardless, everyone deserves just some peace, you know, and some privacy. And honestly, that's really what's also good about the little homes as well, is that you're not just getting some privacy, but you're also getting away from that crazy cold here in Canada. And here's another tent city being put out.
This is Canada. These are homeless tents, and it keeps getting, it wraps all the way over there and keeps getting larger. Like, what is the government doing about this? This is not okay. This is not okay. Like Doug Ford, Justin Trudeau, whoever's in power, like, these are how people are living. I'm literally crying as I'm recording this video because this is not fair. This is not fair. Something needs to be done. I don't know where my tax dollars are going to, but it needs to go into getting these people housing. Like, this is not, like, you guys, it goes all the way over there. Like, it wraps around. This is not okay.
I've seen some of these homeless encampments. They will take over, like, entire neighborhoods, you know, entire parks during the summer where a lot of people like to go have picnics, maybe have a beer or two in the sun. And these parks, you know, it's dangerous because sometimes there is needles and stuff in the grass, and you got to be careful. You can't really bring your kids around there for safety reasons. So it's definitely a concern for a lot of people, and it's just a sad situation to see. And just it really puts people off from wanting to visit a city as well, right? Like, if you know, Canada used to have a ton of tourism in these big cities, and now, you know, when people see this stuff and they compare it to where they're from, you know, it's not a very good, it's a very bad contrast.
What do you think about the homelessness situation?
We've essentially said, I don't care what your life is like, just don't steal stuff, go lay in a gutter someplace and stay out of our way. And that's essentially what the government's done, isn't it? They're not addressing the human being. All these times that you drive down the street and you see somebody who is in absolute mental agony, they've got no resources, they've got nowhere to go, they've got no hope. You think this is what a kind and just society looks like? At some point in time, we have to look at does a just society allow people to continue in their agony? Or do we maybe look at involuntary confinement? I'm not talking about putting them in jail, but I'm talking about something else where somebody with mental health issues is taken care of, given resources, given activities, given medication so they're not self-medicating. And government has shown themselves of being very inefficient at doing anything well.
Yep, that's pretty straightforward. Yeah, the government has been shown to be pretty incompetent in terms of dealing with this situation, which has been an issue that's been brought on also by a housing crisis. The amount of crises that you can just name that have like kind of arose in Canada in the last 5 years is kind of shocking. And this woman right here is very upset by just the treatment of homeless people in Toronto. And you can tell she's from Toronto because I'm from Toronto, and I've heard this accent quite a lot. So very Toronto.
So there's no shelters available anywhere, none. Not that a homeless person would be able to even pay for their cell phone bill every single month and call every 2 hours like you tell people. Call back in 2 hours, call back in 2 hours, call back in 2 hours. Everywhere, every single shelter around the GTA, not one spot available for anyone. So then, okay, they go to a park. Where else they're gonna go? It's summer. They need shade. They can literally die in this fucking heat. Die from heat exhaustion. I tell this homeless person today, stay in the shade, go a park. They kick me out of the park. They're threatening to put me in jail again. They kicked you out of the park. Where do you actually want them to go? Where do you want them to go? There's no shelter. You kick them out of a park where they could at least have some shade, hide in a fucking tree, by a tree somewhere. But you kick them out. Where are they supposed to go? So you see them outside Tim Hortons, you see them on the fucking street. They don't want to be there. They have to be there because they have literally nowhere else to fucking go. Do you want them to just vanish? Like vanish up into smoke, into thin air? Like where do you want these people to go? There's no place for these people to go. You're kicking them out of everywhere. I just don't fucking know. I don't understand it.
Feels pretty heartless, right?
I do not fucking understand. We have so much land in Canada. Why cannot you take like a big portion of this land and just devote it to homeless encampment? Just tear down this land, build some shit on it, whatever. And that's like a homeless little town. I don't know. If that's a bad idea, then I actually don't know. I could see why Trudeau has no idea what to do, because there's, what else do you do? There's not enough housing, so build more housing? No. Build more shelters? I don't fucking know. I don't even fucking know what to do.
Pretty complex problem, for sure.
Have one park that's literally just devoted to them in a city. Like, there has to be something, then you're kicking them out of a fucking park. Where are they supposed to go? They can't go inside of a store. They can't go anywhere.
Yeah, pretty upsetting video. This is another scene that I've witnessed before when I was working downtown. Every time you're going up to get to the street and you're going through the subway, there's just people, there's just garbage and people just everywhere, like laying on the steps, passed out from drugs. You see needles, you see pipes everywhere. And this is a POV video of what it's like getting out of one of these subway stations. And that's not even as bad as some of the ones I've seen before. Like it's bad, but I've seen way worse than that. Unbelievable. And this is interesting. This video I found very interesting because a Canadian citizen is telling people it's 250,000 homeless people in Canada, but there's all these vacant homes. A lot of people don't know about this. Canada has a lot of vacant homes that are just being kind of used as tax shelters and stuff, which is this is a huge problem in Canada, especially considering we already have a housing crisis and a cost of living crisis.
150,000 homeless people are in Canada.
It's insane.
That is a large number.
Yeah.
Now the next question we should be asking is why are they homeless? Are there not enough homes? And the next answer to that question is there's 1.2 million empty homes across Canada. That's, for every homeless person, there's 5 homes sitting empty.
Yet there's apartments, even around here in particular, that there's like 6, 7, 8 people living in.
And they blame those. They're like, oh, there's people 6 to an apartment. So that just shows you it's actually not 5 empty houses to one homeless person. It's actually like maybe some multiple of that. For every house that has 5 people living in it, that's like 4 other places that could have been, that should have been occupied.
Exactly. And I mean, there's other issues that you can look at and say, well, can these people afford the home? No. So then the homes will remain vacant. But again, they're putting more and more taxes on these homes, putting pressure for people to sell. But I just don't know how this problem is going to be solved overnight. There's no way you can solve this problem overnight. There's so many compounding problems helping out each other in a way that's making a perfect storm. And this is brutal. This is a homeless person who is sleeping in a tent in BC, and they got into this. They kind of share how they got to this scenario, and it's really upsetting. But again, this is the last video. And let's take a look at it together.
Yo, my name is Phoenix Rising. I'm 23, and this is my second day being homeless in a tent. I've struggled with homelessness since June of this year, and I was in shelters, women's shelters. I was staying at friends, but I haven't had my own home since June. And on November the 6th, I was staying with the father of my child. We have a daughter that I placed in foster care in August of this year here in Courtenay on Vancouver Island. On November 6th, I was staying with her dad in Morinville, Alberta, and his entire apartment building burned down. He wasn't the owner, he just rented a unit there. Red Cross helped us for 10 days with a hotel, gave us money for food and water and clothes. Food and clothes, not water. And he didn't have insurance, so after that we were left on our own to either stay at shelters or with family. I don't have family. He didn't have many options for family. He's staying with his brother for a week now. The one family member I did have an option to, there's a possibility of running into my childhood abuser there, so I couldn't go there. I couldn't be in that town. There's no shelters available in St. Albert, Morinville, Edmonton, Calgary, and it's fucking cold as fuck over there. So I decided to come down here to Courtenay, where at least it's a little warmer. There's no shelters here either or in Campbell River, so now I'm living in a tent and I'm fucking scared. Fucking cooking noodles has never been this hard in my entire fucking life, bruh.
Yeah, and you're not very well protected, not just from the elements with the tent, but from people that you may not know, may not trust, right? So, very scary situation to be even put into, but this is just really just putting things into perspective of how bad it's really getting for a lot of young people and older people as well in Canada. I have to emphasize that. So the last one, I did get a lot of comments about older individuals being frustrated that I didn't really mention that it's a struggle for them as well, but a struggle definitely for young and old here in Canada. Anyways, I hope that this video is at least informative to you guys and you learned something here today. And if you did, leave a comment down below in the comment section, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.